If you look around online, everything is about calorie restriction, promoting lettuce on rice cakes, because we wouldn't want energy for your body to actually function properly, would we? It's like trying to weight reduce your car, you know, to get a bit more power to weight going, and you're like, oh, well, full tank of gas might be like 50 kilos, so I'm just gonna take that out. It's like, I'm gonna be going so fast, dude. In the age-old calories in, calories out debate, I just think focusing more on output, you know, energy expenditure is a much better way to go, but we'll get into that. Okay, my name's Jay, I'm a nutritionist and an international level athlete, and let's make a start. So if we look at this study here, right, you know, studies involving energy restriction or very low adiposity report decreases in leptin, which is hunger signaling, decreases in insulin, decreasing testosterone, and also thyroid hormones. And when these hormones crash, not only do you feel terrible, it also becomes really hard to actually lose weight further because your basal metabolic rate, which is a big component of your total energy output, just it comes down like quite significantly, and you know, then you have to really undercut that with even less calories, which is just not really feasible to increase, you know, even more weight loss. It's just not a good way to go. This is for another video, but just don't follow the juice heads, okay? Unfortunately, the way it is with all the fitness content, the juice heads are for some reason just at the top. I don't know, that they, like, if we take this for example, all the hormone levels are crashed. It's like, oh, I have low test, okay, I'll just inject that. Oh, my thyroid levels are low, I'll just inject that. Oh, my growth hormone levels are low. You get the idea. So if you're a natty folk like myself, you just can't do that. Okay, so why would you follow what's working for them? Because you can't do it. Like, it's that simple. Also, low energy intake and minimal body fat are perceived as indicators of energy unavailability. Basically, these are the things that are gonna send you into that survival mode we've been talking about, right? And the first thing stated there is energy restriction. Of course, low body fat too, but energy restriction, right? The crash diet, the age-old crash diet. Dude, get shredded on like 1,400 calories a day. It's not gonna work. It's just gonna send you into the trash with all those hormonal imbalances we've been talking about. So is there a better way to go? Yes. So if we increase output and stay at a pretty normal calorie level, so we come in still a deficit, we might still be losing weight. Is this a better way to go? Kind of. Will it send you into these hormonal imbalances? To a less of an extent, right? If we look at that definition of what's going to actually send you there, right? Low energy intake, but we're still eating a normal amount. It's just our calorie output's increased. And therefore your metabolic rate is still kind of staying the same because you're not in survival mode. You're still eating like a normal person. It's just you're exercising quite a bit. Now, is that going to be sustainable for long periods of time? I mean, at a certain point, your body's going to start kind of retracting. It's like, okay, you know, as I've said before, low body fat is also an indicator that might send you into that survival mode. So you can't do it forever. You're not going to get 4% body fat, right? But if we look at like athletes, right? You know, me, I work in sport, I compete in sport, I'm just around a pretty high level of sport most of the time, and I can tell you that none of these athletes are adhering to like a long-term crash, or not even crash diet, just caloric restriction for like months on end, like some gym goers might do. And what do you know, they're pretty lean most of the time. Like, I don't know, take like a basketball, they're jacked and shredded at like 7 foot. Like, how does that happen? Okay, or look at like a sprinter, they're pretty lean, they're reasonably muscular too. And they're not doing like a 3-month cut. That's just not how it works. So let's dig into a little bit of the output stuff, right? The main part of this video, really. So I've spoken a little bit about type 2 fibers, type 2X fibers in particular, those athletic fibers. They're very explosive, also very inefficient, which is great if you're trying to boost output. If you recruit these with very explosive movements, you're just going to burn more energy. There's no way around it. So if you think things like just explosive stuff, right? Think a hill sprint, think, I don't know, an Olympic lift. But the thing with Olympic lifts, right? You can't do that much volume. You know, you can't do, I don't know, a set of 20 cleans. It's probably not going to end well. But if you do things like hill sprints, maybe you just do a lot of compound movements and do them quite explosively, quite violently. If you compare like a compound lift to something, I don't know, like a bicep curl, there's not much horsepower coming out. It's an isolation movement. It's not really ideal. So things like explosive kettlebell swings, I don't know, maybe squats for speed, maybe time yourself, how quickly can I do 10, that sort of thing. So yes, you're still building the strength that you might want to do and get the muscle hypertrophy that you might be chasing depending on what your goals are, but you're also just boosting output. It's really that simple. So think about that, just, you know, a bit more energy, a bit more violence. You know, don't hurt yourself, of course, but that can be really helpful with boosting the output. Like if I'm leaning out for the season and I don't lose too much weight, as a disclaimer, but the only thing that really changes, maybe I cut out some of the processed food in my diet, but the main thing is I'm just you know, your body takes the form that it needs to take. And when I'm doing like high quality stuff, maybe more type 2H recruitment, just because the sessions are more high quality, I just tend to lose a bit of weight. There's no way, it just kind of happens. And I'm not feeling hungry. My training sessions are great. There's nothing worse than, you know, just being hungry and not being able to do your session properly. That's awful. And the main point of this video, I'm not telling you that you can't go into like a calorie deficit intentionally with your diet, like a say 300 calorie deficit. That's fine. I'm just saying, kind of rethink the way people are, I guess, promoting the way you should live your life and challenge your fitness goals, because most of the people in the fitness industry have eating disorders, okay? So we probably don't want to follow what they do day to day. Okay, I'm like, it's a short video. My message is just, it can be a lot more enjoyable. I don't feel hungry, I can stay lean, and my training sessions are great. Isn't that kind of what you want? You don't have to calorie restrict, just kind of rethink things, you know. Of course, decent diet, high training intensity, you're gonna be lean. There's not really any way around it, in my opinion. But anyway, that's been me. Let me know what you think about this below, and I will see you in the next one.